Hello my dear students, myself Amit Upadhyay, and again I'm back in front of you with your favorite subject English. So as you remember, in our last class we have done the reading part of the lesson and explanation of the glossary from the lesson C.V. Raman, The Pride of India. Now today we will be discussing the question answers related to the lesson. So our first question goes here. Why was Raman happy when he learned that Professor Compton had won the Nobel Prize? Why was Raman happy when he learned that Professor Compton had won the Nobel Prize? So, as we already know that the C.V. Raman was doing research on the same topic as the Professor Compton was doing. So, the invention of Professor Compton that the X-ray change its nature when they pass through a medium, that depends on the nature of the medium. So, he thought that this must be also true for the light. So when he won the Nobel Prize, Professor Compton won the Nobel Prize, he has become more delighted that if this theory is true, then I am near to the result of my research, and he has got the confidence that he can prove the theory that this Compton theory is not only applicable or true in the case of X-rays, but it is also true in the case of light. That was known as Raman effect. So that is why Raman was very happy when he heard that Professor Compton won the Nobel Prize. Next, we will see So the next question we have, we will quickly look at that. What does the Compton effect tell us? What does the Compton effect tell us? So when we went through the lesson, we came to know that the Professor Compton was working on the nature of the X-rays. So the Compton effect tells us that when X-rays passes from one medium, it changes its nature. That was known as Compton effect. Moving quickly to the next question. The third question says that, what was Raman's advice to young scientists? What was Raman's advice to the young scientists? So, Raman's advice to the young scientists was to not to confine themselves into the laboratories. Instead, they should observe the world around them, and the hard work and focus is the need of the science, not the equipment. So this was the advice to the young scientists by C.V. Raman. The next question we have is, which paragraph tells about the ill health of C.V. Raman? So, in our text, we see that the 7th paragraph tells us that the Raman was ill health. Next question, I am skipping to the 5th question, and it says that, what was the challenging situation when Raman started his experiment on light? What was the challenging situation when Raman started his experiment on light? So, the challenging situation in front of Raman was he did not have any sophisticated instrument for the research. He did not have the modern lab in which he could produce his research material. But he was very confident that with his knowledge and gradually he can do some modification to his own equipments and he can discover what he wanted to do. So, yeah, this helped him to discover the Raman effect later on. Now, next question we are having with us is, what was the unseen force working behind the Raman for reaching great heights? What was the unseen force working behind Raman for reaching great heights? So, the unseen force was the keen interest of C.V. Raman in the field of science. He observed each and everything so minutely that he, instead of the concern of their parents that they wanted him to be the part of any good position in the government of India. So, for his mother and father's sake, he has started working in the as a member in the Bengal government, but still he was working with the science community, and that shows that his keen interest in the field of science, and that made him to reach great heights in the field of science. Next we are having is, What is Raman effect? So the Raman effect is nothing but it is a new kind of radiation describing the behavior of light when it passes from a special kind of liquid. So it is nothing but the same theorem of Compton applied to the versatile manner to the special kind of radiation known as Raman effect. The next question that follows us, we will go through that. It is 8th one. If AH Compton had not discovered the Compton effect, do you think Raman would have discovered? The Raman effect? So, give your reasons. So, as per our thought, if A.H. Compton had not discovered the Compton effect, the Raman wouldn't have discovered this Raman effect, because earlier he was very interested in the study of sound, as it has been clearly mentioned in the lesson that he was studying on the study of acoustics. So that means study of sound. So he was studying how the instruments, the stringed instruments like guitar and violin, can produce that melodious sound. So he was interested in this field, but when the A.H. Compton had discovered the Compton effect, it got him attracted towards the idea that if it is true for the X-ray, it must be true for the all light. So that is why he started his experiment about light and he discovered Raman effect. Otherwise, he might also be able to discover this Compton effect, but only if he had got interest in the field of optics in some other way. So, going to the next question. Now, the next question tells us that in what way was Raman different from other Indian scientists? List them and justify your answer. In what way was Raman different from Indian scientists? List them and justify your answer. List them and justify your answer. So, first of all, he was the first scientist to receive Nobel Prize and complete his research within India without going to abroad. So this was a great achievement from India, and he showed that even though he didn't have any sophisticated equipment, that is modern arrangements that we have in the modern laboratories, but he has managed to invent and managed to create such a sensation in the field of science that he has received one of the greatest achievement, that is Nobel Prize, that anyone could. So this is how he was different from the other scientists. At the same time, he was also different that instead of working inside the laboratory, he preferred observing the world more keenly and more minutely so that we can just uncover the secrets of the nature. So in that way, Raman was different from the other Indian scientists. Now we will see, if you were a scientist, what would you like to invent or discover? If you were a scientist, what would you like to invent or discover? So, do you want to become a scientist? Although if you want to become a scientist, then what will you discover? What will you invent? Or in what field you want to do the research? So, there may be chance that you will discover a technology in which we can drive motorbikes with the help of water as fuel. Otherwise, you can build a technology to have water on moon. Otherwise, you can help in developing the space science and finding any eco-friendly fuel. So any kind of discovery and invention you can do when you have a deep interest in science and you are a hard worker and at the same time a sharp thinker. So this question I am leaving on you. You should decide and you should tell that what you would like to invent or discover. So in that way we are done with the exercise. Now, It's time to go for a new lesson, and let us see what we got for you. भाई थोड़ा बंद करो ना. So now let us see the true and false section, and tell me whether the statement is true or false regarding the life of C.V. Raman. So the first statement says that C.V. Raman was born in Calcutta. Is it true? No, it is false. He was born in Tamil Nadu. The Compton effect was a discovery made by C.V. Raman. Again, this is false. So the Compton effect was discovered by A.H. Compton, Professor A.H. Compton. Next, Raman's mother was a college physics teacher. So again, this is a false thing. Who was a physics teacher? His father was a physics teacher. Now, next question says that Raman was an average student at school. No, he was a brilliant student at the school. So yeah, he has keen interest in science. Next is Raman studied how the drum could produce music. Again, it is a false. He was studying about the sound produced by the stringed instruments like guitar, violin, etc. Next, Raman spent only 200 rupees to win the Nobel Prize. So that's true, because the instrument that Raman was using in order to prove the Raman effect was of cost only 200. Raman was only 42 when he won the Nobel Prize. Again, this is true. So yeah, in this way we are done with this. And now let's go to the vocabulary section, and it says that the following sentences are from your lesson. Read them carefully and tick the correct meaning of the underlined word in each sentence. So first sentence is, his parents were keen to send him abroad for higher studies. So here the underlined word is keen. You have 4 options with you. So what are the options? Particular, eager, and worried. So here the word of keen means eager. Okay. Next, the world hailed the discovery as the Raman effect. Underlined word is hailed. The world hailed the discovery as the Raman effect. So here the word hailed is underlined, and now we have options as admired, called, thought. So here the word hailed is nothing but admired. Okay. So yeah, the next, So the next sentence we have is, in his youth, Raman was mainly interested in acoustics. In his youth, Raman was mainly interested in acoustics. So here the underlined word is mainly, and you have three options: primarily, simply, and certainly. So here it goes as primarily. This is the meaning of the underlined word. The next sentence is, the British made Raman a knight of British Empire. The British made Raman a knight of British Empire. So the underlined word is here, made. So we have three options again: appointed, managed, placed. So here it is appointed. So the last sentence we have is, Raman passed away on November 21. November 21, 1970. So underline word here is passed away. Passed away means died. So that's it in our today's class. We will go through the more interesting stories and poems in our next class. Till then,